Commission fines Twitter 120 million euro under the Digital Services Act. Today, the Commission has issued a fine of 120 million euro to Twitter for breaching its transparency obligations under the Digital Services Act. The breaches include the deceptive design of its blue checkmark, the lack of transparency of its advertising repository, and the failure to provide access to public data for researchers. This is extremely loaded, and the EU is about to find that they don't really have a lot of power. It's kind of funny. Because this is hilarious to me. Deceptive design of its blue checkmark. How is it deceptive? It's not. It's something you buy. It's Twitter Blue. It's X Premium. It's not deceptive in any way, shape, or form. It's on you. If you still think that Twitter's old blue checkmark is the same as the new X blue checkmark, the company, in theory, is different. The company is also private. So that's why you know it's completely different. It got bought by the Rocket Man. And back in the day, sure, the blue checkmark meant something. Oh, this is actually somebody. Even though they were just selling the blue checkmarks for $15,000, which is hilarious. So nothing has changed really. Not for what you're trying to say here. Lack of transparency of its advertising repository, not quite sure what they mean by this. And the failure to provide access to public data for researchers. Hold up. What do you mean, failure to provide access if the data is public? Of course, there has to be a lie. By design. This is a sheer contradiction on its own. They're not gonna give you backdoors, I'm sorry. Government overreach is ending here. I don't care anymore. Deceptive design of X's blue checkmark. X's use of the blue checkmark for unverified accounts deceives users. They're verified accounts in the sense that the platform has their ID to make sure they exist. For sure they can be faked. You can probably see bots with blue checks anyway. It's just a premium, it's fine. It's a paid subscription, it's okay. This violates the DSA obligation for online platforms to prohibit deceptive design practices in their services. On X, anyone can pay to obtain the verified status without the company meaningfully verifying who is behind the account. They do have your government ID. That is true. Make it difficult for users to judge the authenticity of accounts and content they engage with. But the thing is, verified status doesn't mean anything. Okay? Let's be real. If you go to a content creator that uses some sort of fake name or artistic name, why would you want to see their full legal name? Isn't that curious? Isn't that curious? Once again, at the end of the day, verified is not really verified. I'm not even sure if it says they're actually verified. Let me take a look here through my Twitter. Does it say verified? I don't think it does. Let's say sure, per nation, for example. It had the blue check. It says verified account. This account is verified. Learn more. What does it say? What does the blue checkmark mean? The blue checkmark means that the account has an active subscription to X Premium and meets our eligibility requirements. Starting April 1st, 2023, we began winding down our legacy verification program, and accounts that were verified under the previous criteria, active, notable, and authentic, will not retain a blue checkmark unless they're subscribed to X Premium. Subscribers will need to meet our eligibility criteria below to receive or retain the blue checkmark. Your account must have a display name and profile photo. Your account must be active in the past 30 days to subscribe. Your account must have a confirmed phone number, and it has to be non-deceptive, meaning no recent changes to photo, display name, or username, the handle. No sense of being misleading or deceptive. No sense of engaging in platform manipulation and spam. Which, sure, we can all agree that maybe that's not being enforced properly. So, your complaints are about the system that's not actually working on the site. Congratulations, you're an absolute moron. Let me clap a little bit here. I don't know if the mic is actually picking that up, but I was clapping. This deception imposes users to scams, including impersonation frauds, as well as other forms of manipulation by malicious actors. While the DSA does not mandate user verification, it clearly prohibits online platforms from falsely claiming that the users have been verified when no such verification took place. Okay, I see the problem here. I understand this is a legacy change, right? It's a legacy option. The verification was legacy and it's changing to just be premium. It's as easy as going into the front end and whatever it says, verified account for blue checkmark, you change that line to it has premium. That's all the problem that's there. That's everything. That's just everything. It's just that easy. Because if you go to the TOS, learn more. Oh, it's not actually verified. It's not actually verified. Verified only means they're paying for premium. I don't know about that, man. You're looking like a clown, but you're not funny. Lack of transparency of as repository. Let us see. Excessive attachment repository fails to meet the transparency and accessibility requirements of the DSA. Accessible and searchable ad repositories are critical for researchers and civil society to detect scams, hybrid threat campaigns, pertinent information operations, and fake advertisements. You're saying this if this is only happening on Twitter, but it's against excuse to attack them. X incorporates the same features and access barriers, such as existing delays in processing, which undermine the purpose of ad repositories. Each ad repository also lacks critical information, such as the content and topic of the advertisement, as well as the legal entity paying for it. Anything that you're saying here, even though this might be true, it works on YouTube, but you're not going after YouTube. I wonder why. This hinders researchers and the public to independently scrutinize any potential risks in online advertising. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice here. If you're actually falling for online advertising, you're stupid. It's that easy. It's never useful, it's never good, it's never been good. And I don't think it will ever be good. So there's that. Okay, this is something I find interesting. Let's see what they say about this. Fails to provide researchers access to public data. It serves to meet its DSA obligations. DSA obligations, by the way, even though the company is American. To provide researchers with access to the platform's public data. For instance, access terms of service prohibit eligible researchers from independently accessing its public data, including through scrapping. Okay, that's probably to avoid the stuff like AI training, I assume. Moreover, access processes for researchers' access to public data impose unnecessary barriers, effectively undermining research into several systemic risks in the European Union, LOMAO. The fine issue today was calculated taking into account the nature of these infringements, their gravity in terms of affected EU users, and their duration. This is the first non-compliance decision under the DSA. Everybody should not comply to the DSA because it's just trash. Also, I still fail to understand exactly what's going on. Access terms of service prohibit eligible researchers from independently accessing its public data, including through scraping. How is this possible if the data is public? What do you mean here when you say public data? If you cannot access the public data, by definition, this data is not public. It has to be private in some sort of way. And if the data is private, it's really funny when we have to mention once again data protection laws from the EU. Think again, they also affect those who believe in them. Really, really strange. Next steps. EXA has 60 working days to inform the Commission of the specific measures it intends to take to bring to an end the infringement of the Article 25, Section 1 DSA, related to the deceptive use of blue checkmarks. It's not deceptive, it's you being illiterate, being unable to click twice and read 2 paragraphs. X has 90 working days to submit to the Commission an action plan setting out the necessary measures to address the infringements of Article 39 and 40, Section 12, DSA, relating to the advertising repository and the access to public data for researchers. The Board of Digital Services will have 1 month from receipt of X's action plan to give its opinion. The Commission will have another month to give its final decision and set a reasonable implementation period. Failure to comply with the non-compliance decision may lead to periodic penalty payments. Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. The Commission continues to engage with X to ensure compliance with the decision and with DSA more generally. I understand that they have to work within the laws of the EU to some extent because they operate in the EU, but this is an American company. It's a private American company. Why do you have a foreign government telling you to give them access to their data? It's a little bit strange. It is a little bit strange. Of course, we all know why. Oh my god! Free speech, that's not allowed! Is this Soviet Russia? You better like it. It's coming for you. I have some stuff about the background. On December 18th, 2023, the Commission opened formal proceedings to assess whether X may have breached the DSA in areas linked to the dissemination of illegal content and the effectiveness of the measures taken to combat information manipulation, for which the investigation continues. Information manipulation, by the way. You're one to talk here. Lumao! These proceedings covered also the use of deceptive design, the lack of advertising and transparency, and insufficient data access for researchers, for which the Commission adopted preliminary findings on July 12, 2024, in a non-compliance decision today. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So, well, if you're stupid, if you don't know how to read, if you don't understand what words mean, congratulations. You could be working in the EU as a politician. Hey, that's pretty good. Good news for a lot of people. It's actually good? I don't think so. I truly don't think so. But it is insane. It is insane. You can just go to their website and see exactly what everything here means. Verified is just a leftover from the blue checkmark. Nowadays, it's just premium. This is you refusing to read what happens with their sites, their own features and mechanics. How is this happening? How does this keep happening all the fucking time? I just don't get it, man. It is insane to me. As repository, the same that happens with every single company. I don't know about that. Access to public data. If you don't get access to public data, the data is not public. Stop just lying to me. People will defend the EU. It is truly insane. And the resolution is probably gonna be Twitter, X, or however you wanna call it, getting one day and saying something like, you know what? I'm not giving you guys service anymore. Screw you. The EU is about to find they have no power. They're about to find themselves with a bunch of revolutions, I'm afraid, but it can't happen soon enough.